How do we allow children and youth to enter into our network and world? How do we let them see our perspectives? How do we allow them to influence us as a person and as a professional?
You know, I have a career here as a visual artist, so I'm part of many groups around town. So I invite the student to go to uh, open houses, studios, exhibitions. One role too is I have in the past year few students who was a school homeschooling things. So when they go to high school, they ask, for some reference to apply, to high school. It's been a pleasure to say, you have to accept this kid. They have so much talent. They can, bring a new perspective to, to your school. So I work with teenagers as well. So I connect them, with organization when they are looking for a special kid, to support any program. So I'm like I connect that, that is my connect dot around the community. And many of them, of the youth I work on through the year, it's been helped me to paint murals in another agencies as well, right? And I provide volunteers hours for youth, especially youth who are newcomers, so the language is a barrier, and they feel comfortable help, paint murals in the community.
Yeah, as someone who is in social work, I'm very careful about self-disclosure. I think really carefully about it before I do it. And it was something I struggled with, I think, starting out with this job, because I felt I had to maintain this professional self and to focus on the kids and what they're going through. But I've kind of learned that it's okay to be vulnerable with them, and it sets a really amazing example. So for example, we always start with an opening circle, where we go around and everyone answers how they're doing on a scale of 1 to 10. And on the days where I wasn't feeling great, or I was feeling kind of sad, or I was down because of the weather, it took me a while to be able to say, I'm only about a 6 today. I'm feeling kind of sad. And to just allow them to take care of me, because they are completely capable of that. And so, we work a lot about how there are no good and bad emotions. There are just emotions, and they're all important, and we all feel them, and we are all human beings who have the ability to relate to one another and to take care of each other.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and I think just to add to that, I think, Michelle, you just nailed it. I mean, it's being vulnerable is really important, especially when it comes to building a community with others. I think not having any filters in terms of who we are and how we're doing. I think to be able to share to be free is a really important part of that community building. So I don't have one of those filters with the kids. So I've probably shared sometimes more than I feel comfortable with later. But in that moment, it's sort of important, I think, to be honest and to be authentic and to let them see you for how you really are. So I think by facilitating these programs, what we end up doing is we sort of naturally include them in our network. They become part of our network and become part of our world. And in terms of how they influence me, well, I think really, if we are vulnerable, if we let ourselves be vulnerable, and if we're in tune with our own selves and our emotions, I think that we'll find that everybody influences us, that all moments are influential, all people are influential, and that process never stops. It's something that is a lifelong, ongoing thing. But it does require us to be open. So I think that's been one of the main lessons that I've learned in my years working here, is to, as Michelle said, just like let my guard down. And when you do that, it's also an invitation for them to do the same. And that's how we can help to integrate each other into our own network.
As an adult, letting the child see that you're still human. What a gift. And, it's interesting, I'm reflecting as I'm hearing you, because if I have been learning from the three of you and from the kids, right? When I have this idea of expectations are very high on me. and I tend to bring it on everything, but I have been trying to not to be too rigid, right? And so to be able to be more, let's use the moment, the creativity, or even learn from that struggle. Might feel very awful at the moment, but hey, what comes out is amazing. And so, yeah, the idea of not having control, but letting a process happen, right?
Hmm.